Hello folks, back out in the garage again today. We're going to do some more body work. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that bed rail over there, but I do have something that I wanted to show you. I might just walk away from that one for a little bit and think about it and work on some of the other not so complicated stuff. But I'll bring you along for the ride and I'll show you what I'm talking about over there. Be right back. Okay, I've got another straight edge here. This one here is 8 foot long. I'm on the passenger side and got it laid against the top rail flat over here, and it is flat all the way until, do you see that gap? So the short of this story is, even on the good side, up here by the stake hole, there's still a high area there. It's stock from the factory. You move down here and everything straightens up. The straight edge I was using yesterday was a lot shorter. You couldn't see that. So let me take it to the other side and show you what I got there and see what y'all think. Okay, I've got it set up on the driver's side now. Hopefully this comes out well. You see that gap? It is larger than the gap on the passenger side by a little bit. Probably not a whole lot. I'll have to go back and review the footage to see, but it's the same area. So I'm sitting there putting the last video together. Well, let me stop and talk to you a minute. Sitting there last night, putting the last video together, I got to thinking about it. And the only thing that I could think of that would cause this to be so far out, this area here is untouched. This is stock. The area down here is stock. The area down here has not been cut. None of these three areas have been cut. So those are all right on the money. The only thing that has been cut is down along here, from here to here. And then when I cut that, evidently something happened and the bed moved in some. The outside moved in some. They were welded and tacked in place and done. Like I said last night, there's probably not a darn thing I can do about that, with the exception of either cutting this and bringing it back out, or cutting this section here and bringing it in. I'm not going to do either. I'm just going to pretend like I didn't see that. You don't feel it. My son-in-law Carl did mention that he thought that he saw it, but I don't see how he did. But maybe he's got a keener eye than I do. Anyway, I'm going to get busy on other areas. I did have one thing that I made a video on last night that I didn't include, and that is about this piece here. I took this piece and put it over on the other side, and just like right in here, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me get you in a little closer. It's a perfect fit. No matter which way you flop this thing around, it's a perfect fit right in that area. Okay, then you go down just a little ways and you can see gaps. Here's another place where there'll be a small gap. Oh, I would have to drop it. Anyway, as you see, it kind of teeters now. down here, big gap. So I was going to use this for sanding, but I think when I get ready to put more on this top rail, that I'm actually going to use this as the applicator and just put the putty down and smooth it out so that it's all the same shape. I laid this on the other side, on the passenger side bed rail, and it is even, dead even all the way down the rail. It doesn't matter. So this will become my applicator. If need be, I can always take and grind the Bondo off of it on the inside and use it then also as a sanding guide. But I will definitely use it as a guide to show me how close I am to the original curvature of this panel where it comes up. So anyway, like I say, I'm going to start working on some other areas, probably the door here, the fender. I may get into working a little bit on the door over there, or the hood. We'll see how far I get. Okay, I know you guys have heard me say all along that this is a pretty straight truck, and it really is. Considering the age of the truck and what I've seen on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like this, where people are selling trucks online of this vintage, or maybe even a little older, but square bodies, for $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, they're actually in worse shape than this one is as it sits. So I do consider it to be a fairly straight truck. There are dents and dings that if it was probably my old truck that I was just using to beat around the farm or something like that, I probably would just scuff and shoot. Pure and simple. Fix the rust, scuff and shoot. And then, but this one has a little bit of sentimental value. This was my dad's old truck. So I want to get it as straight as I can. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I've got several areas that I'm going to put some body filler in. This was a relatively long dent. This area down here is a dent. Right there, you can actually see the dent in that one, nice and shiny. There's a door ding here. See the dark spot? Door ding here. You can see where I ground it out. It's right in there. There's a dent here. I'm pretty sure that this was from when Dad got this new fender delivered. I'm pretty sure this damage, that one and this long one here, the long dent, was from that. So got that. I've got the area on the hood cleaned off. Now that it's shiny metal, it really stands out. You can see it pretty good. And this area over here. So these are the areas that I'm going to concentrate on tonight. I'll mix up some mud, smaller applications this time, and start putting it on some of these dents. I might concentrate back here on the back first, get those knocked out, and at least get the mud in the dents, and use the cheese grater. And if I get any further along, then I'll start working on the others. I checked this area here, and at one time I thought I felt something, and then the more I feel over it, the more it feels pretty straight. So for now, I'm going to leave it alone and concentrate on the stuff that I can see. So that's where we're going. Well, I got something in all of them. I mixed this one because of last night. I mixed it a little extra hot, and it actually started getting hard before I even got finished. But we got all the big problem areas with some filler in it, including the hood here, over there. I started to try to put some down over there with one door ding that I knew about, but it was already starting to get hard. So wait till this gets ready to cheese grade and start going to work on that. Some of these might actually get too hard to cheese grade before I ever even get to them. So I'm gonna start right here. This one's going to need a little bit more. I should have paid a little bit more attention. That dent goes all the way back here, so maybe even further. So that'll need a little bit more. Not sure about that. We'll know once we get it sanded down. These appear pretty good. Probably just hit those with the DA sander and then with some spot putty. Same with this. This one up here turned out really good. I think I got the ridge. Let's see if I can find the dang camera. There we go. I think I got the ridge pretty good. Maybe a little bit more on there. Back in here. But I think it's pretty straight. And got that one. So we'll let that harden, and then I'll get the air compressor charged up and we'll get it sanded. Don't let me forget my mask this time. Remind me, okay? Okay. I'm gonna, instead of using the air file on these, I'm gonna try to use the DA sander. I've got 40 grit for it, which is close to 36. It works a lot better than the 80, I'll tell you that. But I'll take it down, and I'm sure I'll have to refill again. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I also found 2 more areas down there that I needed to fill. Ground them down, and then mixed up another batch and put it in there. Dust mask. Thanks for reminding me. I appreciate it. Okay. That's what the DA does. The big scratches you see are from that cheese grater file. They'll be filled on the next filling, but I've got to take more off of this right in here. And then this one here is going to need more filler. So, but that one's done with the exception of feathering the paint. Same with that and that. That's the new ones I just filled, so I got to wait a little bit on those. This one's going to need more filler. Just a little bit. This one here feels pretty good, except for the scratches from the cheese grater. I put a little bit more filler on that, so that's got to wait. This one here feels pretty good. And then I also did this here. There was a big ding right here. It looks like it might still need a little bit there. But that's where I'm at for now. I'm gonna let the air compressor catch up a little bit and then sand these down and see where I stand, and then come back and make another batch. Okay, these two here, the last ones I filled, they sanded out perfect. They feel really good. This one here is going to need a little bit more. It's still got a little low spot. This one here turned out really good. I don't think I need to worry about that other than feathering the primer down away from it. This one over here does have one area right here, just a little small ding there. It's going to need to be filled. My problem child, as I knew it would be, is going to be this dent in the hood right here in the middle. This thing is more far-reaching than I thought. It actually is dented all the way out to here. I just took and knocked all the stuff off that I'd put on there. This side here is filled pretty good. That doesn't feel too bad. Probably shouldn't get a little bit more, but this side here is definitely more of a dent on this side than on this side. Maybe his knee was more right in there. But the top line here, yeah, about as crooked as a dog's hind leg, and so I'll definitely have to do a bit more work on that, but that's hard to get. But we'll get it. I'll keep plugging away at it. This one over here, with the exception of, well, let's see. Yeah, I think with the exception of the lines there from the other tool, I think it's pretty good. I'll run the board across it a little bit and see what happens with that. But I don't think it's too bad. All right, I'm going to try something a little different. Getting this rib or body line down the middle of that hood correct is going to be really difficult. I think I've come up with a way to replicate that by making a mold of a good part of the hood with Bondo, and using saran wrap. Put saran wrap down, put the Bondo on top of the saran wrap in a big glob, basically. Let it cure, and then pull it off and use it as a mold. And then I can take it and put the body filler in the area I need it, and then just push it down on top of it until it seats. The other stuff will ooze out, and it should be perfect. I hope. We'll see if it works. Okay, here's where the experiment starts. I went and got my cleanest dirty rag. I got me some water to hopefully suck this stuff down to the material, to the hood, because it doesn't really want to stay too good. So I'll get this nice and wet. This stuff is not the easiest to work with, especially when it gets wet. But it's working. It's pulling it down. Get the air bubbles out. Not that the air bubbles really matter that much, but okay, we'll leave that. I'll put some newspaper here so that I don't get anything over on here or here. Put that there to hold it down, just in case my drafty garage decides to blow a gust of wind in here. So that should be enough to take care of this area here. I'll move it back just a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna go mix up some body filler and put it on there. Be right back. Okay, here we go. This is quite the glob. This is the new stuff. Pro grade. Yeah, okay. That AutoZone. This stuff does create a little bit of heat whenever it hardens. I'm hoping it doesn't melt the saran wrap. I'd be willing to bet you guys have never seen anybody do this before. I wish I had a temperature thing, measure temperature by pointing at it. It's about as warm as a hot cup of coffee. It's getting there. Okay, I think it's completely hardened now. It's still pretty hot, but it's to where the little pieces will break off if you push them, the little things that stick up. So we're going to try to flip it over. Look at that. It's got some waviness in it from the saran wrap, but the form is correct. Let's see if the saran wrap will come off. It will. Hard to do with one hand, to tell you that. Okay, so we got that, a perfect mold for there. Down here it sits even, up there it rocks. That's kind of weird. It sits even up there. Well, it just shows you how much is out. Here it rocks a little bit, but this body line here is what I'm interested in retaining, and it'll definitely do that. So once that hardens completely, I'll probably put saran wrap back on it. I should have just left it on there, but oh well. I'll put saran wrap back on it so that it won't stick to the Bondo, and then mix up another batch, put a nice big batch on there, and then push it down in it, and kind of slide it probably down towards me here, and then maybe actually even both directions, so that I make sure that I have something that I can feather. But Let me think about this for a few minutes and I'll bring you back. Probably mixing up way too much here, but in this case I'd rather have too much than not enough. And there's some spots over there that I can put some on. Actually need more of that over here than I need over there. All right, here goes nothing. That's going to be a mess, but we'll see how it turns out. Yep, that's it. All right, it's about to the stage of using the cheese grater, and I definitely want to do that because there's going to be a lot of excess around here. So I'm going to try to pull this thing off and see what happens. Completely crooked. Well, it is completely crooked. But it is still built up good enough to work with, I think. I'm gonna blow that off. I'm gonna save this in case I need it. Where's my air hose? There it is. Still pretty high here in the middle, which is good. Or in here. And this feels pretty good. It's a little too sharp, but that's okay. Okay, well, I got something accomplished today. I got a couple of them knocked out completely. A couple of them I had to put a little bit more filler in. And then, of course, you just saw the experiment with the hood. I think it's going to work. So I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Please like and subscribe and leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about that trick. I've done molding on fiberglass before, and it's a little bit easier because you have mold release and stuff like that, and I kind of goofed up by not getting it straight. I should have marked it front and back where the line was, and I didn't do that. But anyway, it still turned out okay. I think we've got plenty of material on there to get it where it needs to be. So again, like I said, like and subscribe. I sure would appreciate it. And leave me some comments. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Bye.